we've got a package. Now this is a TCL 50XC 5G. And not your ordinary one. Because this one was $49.88 at Walmart. Which seems to be pretty good. I think I've read reviews on this. This is supposed to have the same processor as the A15, but in TCL form, which TCL software is a little bit lighter, but it's still a pretty heavy operating system. But we'll see how it fares for $50. Here's the A15, but this is only supposed to get 1 year of updates, so I'm not expecting much. It's a TCL product. I've had TCL products before. They haven't been great, but this one looks pretty nice, and it has some pretty nice specs on the box. 5G, 6.56-inch display. I believe that's just LCD, plain old 720p. 50 megapixel camera, 5 megapixel ultra wide, 2 megapixel macro. That's the same exact specifications as the A15. And 8 megapixel front camera and 128 gigabytes of storage. So everything lines up to sound pretty good. Here's the phone, and I love TCL's operating system. So I haven't had a TCL since the TCL 30Z back in the day, running Android 11. I believe it was Android 11. Don't quote me on that, but let's see how this thing is. And if it's good, I'll get a case for it. Okay, so we get this SIM tool. Okay, that's strange. There's no SIM tool. That, and actually a brick. Oh, there's our SIM tool, so it must have fell out. Square SIM tool, that's cool. A brick, which is crazy to see. No phones nowadays get bricks. Like, this is actually very nice. TCL. And even if this is 5 watts, I'll be, like, actually pretty impressed. Okay, so what type of brick is this? Let's see. Let's take this plastic off here. See the quality of this brick, because this is so magnificent and rare to see nowadays, to see a brick come with a smartphone, which is crazy, because back in the day, you used to get headphones, you used to get everything. It's actually not a bad, like, power brick. It's in, like, an oval shape. It is USB-A, but let's go ahead and see what this is. 5-volt 3 amp, so actually a 15-watt charger. That's not bad for USB-A. And your cable, let's see the quality of this, see if it has any TCL branding. No, so generic, but it doesn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel good. And yeah, it has that ridge, so that means it's a cheap cable. Here it is. Oh, okay. Now, I've seen Deja has one of these, and it's actually pretty nice, so. Here's our camera. I like this camera design. So we have our main sensor on the top, which is cool because it has its own like little cubby right here. And then our other two sensors here with our flash, it kind of looks like a face. And then this surrounding, which is plastic, unfortunately. But let's take this off. Yeah, this is actually, whoa, I actually like this design. Whoa, for a TCL, that is nice. So it's kind of like the A15, like actually very close. But I think I like the TCL's design better. You can see the A15 just looks bland. This is nice. This is a different texture. It does feel a little cheap, but not terrible. Here's our screen. Feels a little cheap, but actually not too bad. So the back here, 50 megapixel hybrid, TCL branding right down here. And then towards your right, you have your fingerprint / power button and your volume. Up top, a mic. To the left, SIM and SD card slot. And towards the bottom, headphone jack, mic, USB-C, and speaker. I don't know if there's dual, but let's boot her up and see how she runs. Okay, yeah. What would we expect? It is an LCD. Now, the A15, that's a bump up. That's an AMOLED. So this is an LCD, so not too great. Okay, so hi there. We do get some battery inside here, 47%. Let's go ahead and start. Very rattly vibration motor, so not great. But connecting, this screen actually looks pretty good. There's bleeding, of course, around the hole punch up here, but that's really any LCD screen with the hole punch cut out and towards the bottom, but really not too terrible. And don't copy. For a camera test, I'm gonna have to do the indoor shots or the light shots inside because it's already getting dark out. I hate this stupid daylight savings time, but and then the nighttime shots outside. Sorry guys, but that's just the way it's gonna be because daylight saving time. So shucks. But I'm gonna log into my Google account and we'll go from there. I don't know if you can hear this vibration motor, but just listen here. Let me bring the mic up close. It sounds terrible. I might just turn off the vibration motor entirely because that is just really unusable. So far not great, but software might help. We'll see, but yeah. It was either this, whoa. It was either this or the TCL K33, and the K33 is really junk. So, I got this. It was just $10 more, so I'm like, why not? Why the hell not? So we're going to blur that, by the way. So we are going to set up our fingerprint, see how that works. Let's do I'll put my own pin in there. We're listening to that horrid vibration motor. Like, it just sounds terrible as I'm doing this. So I'm just going to turn the vibrations completely off. But I'm going to set this up. I'm not going to have you wait through this. And we do get face unlock as well. I'm going to skip that for now, but we might come back to it later. Google Assistant stuff we're going to skip. I don't need Google everywhere I go. Blur that. No thanks. Track phone. Again, more straight talk stuff in my collection. This is just, my whole collection is just all straight talk, by the way, pretty much. But I do have a phone coming in Wednesday that we are going to do a still usable on, so stay tuned for that because it's going to be good. It's going to be really good, and I got it for a really good price. Unbelievable, unbeatable price. So we are in the software. It looks like what I imagined. TCL skin. Let's scroll down, see how that looks. Okay, so I actually like this skin. I didn't know if I was going to like it. It's actually not too terrible. I wish there was a brightness slider instead of this little thing, but whatever. Let's go into settings. See what fun we have in there. Home and lock screen, wallpaper, home settings. Okay. Stuff like that. Okay. And I just want to go first in sound and vibration. And we're going to turn off a couple things here. Touch sounds. And then if we go into vibration, if I can find it. Vibration and haptics here. We're just going to turn it off for touch feedback and media. Because it's just too bad. Adaptive brightness we're going to turn off. Darker. Light environment. In dark light environment, turn on darker display mode to achieve lower screen brightness. Okay, that's cool. We do have dark mode. We're just going to do an automatic. You don't have it for sunrise and sunset. TCL, get your game up. Every manufacturer of phone has it sunrise to sunset. Whatever. We're going to turn it on at 5. Well, it gets dark around 4:30 here, so we're going to put 4:30 p.m. and we're going to turn off at 6 a.m. just like that. So we'll see how that looks later. You do have an eye comfort shield kind of deal where it makes it warmer, which isn't bad. It's kind of like a piss filter. But we're going to turn that off. Whoops. Sleep. Never. That's cool. So there is a never mode. Color mode and temp. Vivid, natural. Saturated, RSGB. I kind of like natural. That looks pretty nice. Screen refresh rate. So we do have a 90 hertz refresh rate, which isn't great. I'd like to see 120. Actually, I don't like that color temperature mode. Let's do vivid. But it does feel super smooth. At first, it was on, like, smart. Just put it to 90. Come on. Who cares about battery life, right? And then just your standard stuff here. Status bar and notch. Okay. Inside battery icon next to. We're going to do inside. It looks way better. Okay, so you can hide the the notch. That's kind of cool. If you don't like notches. Notification. All notification icons will be hidden. No thanks. Okay, so that's pretty cool. We have this Next Vision. Image enhancement, video enhancement, game enhancement. That's pretty cool. Okay. So it just makes it look more vibrant. That looks all good. All standard. Buttons and gestures. So we're definitely going to do gesture, but you can switch the order like Samsung. But we're going to do gesture because it's just the best, right? So there we go. Gesture navigation. Gestures. 3-finger screenshot. So that is copied from Motorola. I'll swipe down with 3 fingers. So it's a little bit different. They don't want to copy Motorola entirely. And lift to wake. Standard stuff. Power key. Quickly open camera. Pressing the button twice. You know, blah, blah, blah. Long press. Power menu. I hate that Google Assistant crap. Advanced features. Screen recorder. That's it. But we do not get that on the A15. So that's a nice feature. Smart manager. Okay, so this is just stuff. Memory. Let's see how much RAM. 4 gigs of RAM and 4 gigs of VRAM. It looks. Yeah, so it's just 4 gig of RAM. Battery. Intelligent charging mode. Okay. Battery manager. Pretty standard. Abnormal power consumption. Okay. Stuff like that. Just your standard stuff. Storage. Again, we're getting 128 gigs out of the box, which is nice. And let's see what we're running here. Is there an about phone section? Oh, it just says it right here, about phone. Android 14. 720p screen, so that's kind of crap. But it doesn't look bad for a 720, honestly. Let's see if we have an update on this guy. System update. Check for updates. Okay, security. Yeah, and we're installing a bunch of crap. Standard straight talk. But I'm going to actually get some things downloaded with this phone. We're going to see how it performs. We're going to do some testing and see how it performs against other competitors. And, yeah. Okay, so it's been a little while with the TCL 50XE, and we're ready to try some apps. Now, one thing I really hate about this device is the updates. It did not get Android 15 yet. It's supposed to, but look. If I go, it only got one update. If I go to System Update, check for update, nothing. And if I go into About Phone, Android 14 was September 2025 security patch. So security patch is not too far behind, but the version is. Android 14's old, 2024. We're almost in 2026, so yeah, but so far it's performing really well. I didn't try out any of these apps yet. I just logged into some of them. We're going to try them. But you do get some cool buttons like lock on the go. You can lock it. The fingerprint sensor is super quick. No problems there. And then optimize, which plays really cool animation. So it's pretty cool. So we're going to first try out Facebook here. Okay, so we're in Facebook, and everything looks to be working great. Let's try out some Reels here. Let's turn this off. The speaker isn't great. It's just a single. But Reels, super quick. The speed is actually really cool. This looks pretty fun, but not. No, that does not look pretty fun, actually. Who's at fault? Let's see. I'm the procrastinator or whatever. No one's at fault, all right? That biker shouldn't be going through the cars. Anyways. Let's try out TikTok here. Just run of the mill. Not TikTok Lite. Just regular TikTok. So it's a little laggy. but I'm sure once you start scrolling, it's gonna free up. It's not bad. It's a little warm. But then again, it didn't boot up not too long ago. It booted up like 5 minutes ago. So, eh, it's fine. It's not smooth, but it works. Like if you want to watch TikTok, you can. But it's just not going to be the most enjoyable experience. But now that you're in it, it's actually pretty fast. So it's not too terrible. Let's try out Spotify. I just want to see how long it takes to load and stuff. Yeah, it's fine. It's Spotify. Play some music here. That works fine. How does the music player look? I want to get rid of this Wi-Fi calling crap, but it will not let me. Like, this is stupid. And then it just loads forever. Can I, like, break this app? No, you can't. No. Let's just disable everything that I can. No. Restricted. I don't know, man. Like, this is... Do not. No notifications. And of course, you can't turn it off. It's blocked off. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, it went away for 5 seconds. But yeah, the music player's weird. So it's like that, and then you can do that to scrub. How does it look on the lock screen? Okay, it just looks like your standard one. How's it? Okay, I can't play too much of that because it's copyrighted, but you can hit X, and it goes away, and it doesn't pin. That's cool. The flash, it's just on and off, unfortunately. And that's pretty bright. Bright enough. Anyways, that's Spotify. Let's try out eBay. Let's search for this phone. Now, I'm not going to show you the phone I bought, but I'm getting all these offers because I added so many phones to my watch list. But anyways, yes, I was looking up some things. We'll see, guys. We'll see what I'm going to get. I want to get an A20. I want to get a Moto G Stylus 5G 2023. Someone asked about the iPad Air 3. I will look into that. And the iPod Touch 7th Gen. Someone asked, and I will look into that also. But anyways, let's search TCL 50 XE 5G. I did turn vibrations off because it's terrible. So as you can see, you can find them for about $50, which is what I got brand new, so it's not worth it. Unless you want it like unlocked or something. But let's try out some lighter gaming. Geometry Dash. There's no sort of game mode, I guess, but there is the game booster for Next Vision. But let's see if I can cook here. It's running a little laggy at first, actually, which is quite surprising. The game, like, looks blurry. No. The colors are way off. This Next Vision crap is junk. I think I'm going to turn that off for game. Let's see what it looks like now. Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. So if you guys want your game to look like absolute crap, turn on that Next Vision thing. But if you don't, nah. And then this just okay, goes away. But yeah, it looks way better with it off. Maybe if you're playing like a shooter game or a car driving game, but for Geometry Dash, it looks a lot better with it off. So yeah, I'm just really good at this game. I'm in a pro league and everything, so yeah. See if we can get a quick dub here. This screen actually is really nice for 720p. It's really surprising. It definitely looks like 1080p. So if you're like weary about the 720p screen, it's actually not that bad. The viewing angles, yeah, there's a lot to be desired, but it's fine. Let's try out Roblox. I despise this game, but whatever. Let's try out some parkour, because that's like the good game in this, so. Yay, I'm so excited to play parkour. How is this parkour? What? This is so easy. You just go straight. Literally. Are you kidding me? This is parkour. Wow, I'm having a blast. This is why this game is terrible. Is this what the kids do all day? Is just Oh yeah, parkour. Yay, yay. Oh, we're jumping over things. Yup, definitely. No, we're going in a straight line. These stages are incredibly. Oh, we gotta go crisscross now. Oh my god, it's so hard. Oh, what a hard game. Anyways, Roblox runs fine. Next, I want to try out Call of Duty, a little bit of a more graphic intensive game. And you already know we're doing HD resources for this bad boy. So this isn't a good sign when you load in the Call of Duty and you go into settings. Hold up. The frig? You go into settings, audio and graphics, and the graphic quality max is medium. The frame rate max is high, so we're going to do high frame rate, medium graphics, anti-aliasing on, real-time shadows on, bloom on. You can't do that with graphic quality medium. Realistic scope on. And we'll just see. Optical performance, I don't know what that means. So we'll see. We'll see how this performs. I wonder if we can get like a FPS kind of thing. Basic. I don't know if we can get like an FPS overlay. I don't think we can. But anyways, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, there's no FPS mode, but yeah. Now, I don't know what happened to the original Call of Duty, but this actually runs pretty nice. As you can see, we're in. I don't know what this is, like a practice thing or something, but this is just really stupid. But actually, it's running pretty good. The frames per second, I'm sure, is 60. It's like super smooth for what it is. I did not think this would be this good. Do I shoot this guy? But yeah, it's just running perfect. But I want to see it in an actual match, so I'm going to try to get into a regular multiplayer match. Okay, I can't seem to figure it out. It's all messed up. It just wants me to do training, so yeah, Call of Duty runs fine. Next, I want to try YouTube, see if it can play a 4K video, which I'm sure it can. Okay, so we're on my channel here. Let's go into the latest video and see if it runs. Now, I do like this. Like, look, when I turn, it zooms in. It's kind of cool, so. I hate ads. I really just hate ads. I freaking hate ads. But yeah, it looks to be running fine. Let's try out advanced 1440. It can only go up to, but it's a 720p screen. So as you can see, skips ahead super quick. You can scrub through the video. You get all the new features that you would. I don't know how to do the like 2 times. You can zoom. You can do everything. So YouTube runs fine. And next up, I want to do some testing. Oh, we do have picture-in-picture. I want to do some testing compared to the other one. Let's first look at the specs here. 50xe, Android 14. 6100 plus, same as the A15. 720p 90Hz screen. 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage. The camera. Battery, we do get a cycle count. It's a 5010, so it's actually pretty nice. Let's change this to Fahrenheit. And that's about it. So we're going to run a Geekbench test compared to the A15 and the Moto G. Just to see, the difference here. Both these two are $40. And of course the TCL is $50. So the TCL is a little bit more money. So we're going to see if that affects it. But as you can see, it's definitely the least bright out of all of these. This one's not even close to all the way. If I just go on the home screens, all of them are cranked all the way, and definitely the TCL is the least bright. But we're going to do Geekbench on all these, Geekbench 6. And we'll see which ones perform better or worse. Now, these two just booted up not too long ago, but they've been on for half an hour on the home screen, so it should be fine. Okay, so as you can see, it goes up, kind of. The TCL has a better score than the A15, but the Moto G has a better score than all 3 of them. So, yeah, TCL's in second place for that. Next up, I want to run a 3D Mark test And that should end it off. Okay, so I'm going to run the Wildlife Extreme on all 3 devices. And it goes up the line, with the worst being the TCL. So far this thing's not doing great compared to phones that are actually cheaper than it for $40. I don't know. The TCL might not be worth it. But there's only one thing left to test, the night mode on the camera. This is going to be 1080p at 30 FPS, 0 OIS on the TCL 50XE. It's not great, I can say that for sure, but it's definitely shaky. But quality's not too terrible for the still shots, but this thing's terrible at night. There's no night mode, and there's no control of the flash. It's just like on all the time at night. Because I was trying to take a picture without the flash, but no. And it's bad. It's very bad. This is one of the worst cameras at night I've ever seen. And yeah, that proves it. This phone actually isn't that great. The camera's not great. The processor's not that great. The build quality's fine. The screen's not that great. The speakers aren't that great. Everything about it's not that great. The screen, not good. But if you want like the nice TCL experience, the software support's not good. If you want a nice TCL experience though, this is a pretty reasonable option. Like, it's not bad, but if you were to choose, I would definitely pick something like the Moto G or the A15 over it. The A15 has an AMOLED screen. The Moto G has dual speakers, better cameras on both. Really a win-win. Well, you're getting an ultra-wide on this, which is something the Moto G don't have. The camera's actually not terrible for a TCL, but other than that, this thing's pretty bare bones. It actually is pretty smooth, though, and fluid. That's one thing I like about it. So it's not a bad phone, but if I was to choose, I would definitely pick something else. But TCL experience is nice at least. So thank you guys for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.